How can you calculate your class of degree based on a 5.0 grading system? How can you do that? Now, the first thing you need to know that would help you to calculate the class of degree which you actually came out with is actually to be able to calculate the CGPA of your performance, your academic performance in a particular academic year or a semester. Now, before we do that, you need to understand some basic terminologies under this whole stuff. So the first thing you want to know is actually the graded letter or lettered grade. So we're going to talk about that first. The lettered grade. So let us say that you have a university standard that takes 70% through 100% range of percentages or of results or scores or marks to be graded as an A. This is what is called the lettered grade. So basically that stands for the letter which is apportioned to a range of performances in percentage or basic scores. Now, for the university where I teach, this is actually the range for an A grade. You also have other universities which start at 85. And there are others which start at 75. So whichever university you're dealing with, you should actually apply that there. And that would really tell you what it is. And for my school, we actually use this standard. So if you had any score from 70% to 100%, you would actually be awarded an A grade. So that is basically what is a lettered grade. So what is the range that corresponds to a B? So if you had your percentage from 60%, that is 60 over 100, until 69 out of 100, that will be apportioned as a B for my school. So this is going to be a B. Now you could also have a C. Now we got 50% to a 59%. That is what is apportioned as a C. That is the range of performances which is actually apportioned as a C. Now you could also have a D. In order to find a D, you would actually need to have a performance or a range of scores between 49 to 45. So if you got this, then this would actually get you a D for that course. Now any other thing below this would actually earn you an F in my school. So there is no E, there is just an F immediately after the D. So that means from 44% to a 0%, if you had any score within this range, this would actually earn you an F. And what that means is you have actually failed that course. So if you took any course at all and you had a range of scores cumulatively, that is out of 100, scores between 44 to 0, that is going to be called as a carryover, and that basically means you have failed that course, and the pointage that would actually be apportioned to that will be a 0. So you would actually be given a 0 for that course, and that would affect you drastically, because basically what is going to happen is you would actually need to take that course in the next year. So let us say you took a course like Chem 101, and this course is actually the prerequisite to another course like Chem 210. Now, even though you would be promoted to the second year, you will not actually be able to take this course because you failed this course. So in this level, that is in the 200 level or your second year, you wouldn't actually take this course but take this course. So that keeps happening until you reach the end of that particular school's course that you're actually trying to study. So if it actually takes 4 years, then that means you might well spend 5 years because of this failure which you had from the first year. So you don't really want to have an F grade for any course at all, and most especially for the courses which are actually prerequisites. But even if you did not really have an F in a course which is a prerequisite, you would still need to carry over that course until you have a grade that is not an F. Because as far as you have failed a course, you must get a grade that is better than an F to not take that course continuously in the succeeding years of your studies. Basically, that is what it is. So hopefully you understand that. Now, next up, we're going to talk about uh, grade point. Now, grade point is also abbreviated as a GP. So this is what it means if you said a GP. Now, basically, grade points are the points that are actually portioned or allocated to these various grades. That is these letters which represent your performance in any course within this range. So, based on a 5.0 grading system, you would actually have an A grade, a portion, a 5 grade point. That will be a 5 GP. Now, if you had a B, that is going to be a 4. And if you had a C, that will be a 3. And having a D would earn you a 2. But having an F, this is also bad. You're going to have a 0. That will be what will be recorded for you in your record sheet. So totally, you don't really want to have this grade at all. It's so bad. So that is what grade point is. Now we need to move to another one, which is the TCR. So let us talk about TCR. Now TCR could be seen as the total credits registered. Total credits registered in a year or a semester, whatever it is. So let us say that you took a course, Chem 101, and that had a credit load of a 3. And you took another one, let's say Physics 101, and that had a credit load of a 3. These individual guys, they could be called as credit units or credit loads. Now, if I added 3 to a 4, that will give me 7. And this is what is called the total credits registered. Because here I know that I registered this course and this course with their individual credit loads. So the total credits which are actually registered is actually represented as a TCR. So this is a TCR, and the TCR is going to be equal to 7. So you really need to hold this at the back because we're going to use it as we go further. Now finally, we're going to talk about the CGPA. Now what is a CGPA? A CGPA is cumulative grade point average. Now how can it be calculated? How do you calculate a cumulative grade point average? If you are able to calculate this, that would help you to know what class of degree you're on. And before we calculate that, I just need to show you the marks or the keys to understanding the class of degrees that you would actually have. Now the first one is the first class GPA. If you had a first class CGPA, that means you're sorry, I should actually say if you had a first class of degree, that would actually be within a range of the CGPAs. That is from 4.50 to 5.00. This is a first class CGPA. If you had a 3.50 to a 4.49, that is going to be a 2-1 or a second class upper. And if you had a 2.40 through, that is any score between this range from 2.40 to 3.49, that is going to be 2.2, which is a second class lower. So I need to take this out. Yep. And the next one is going to be the third class, which is a 1.50 to a 2.339, and that is actually third class. That is a third class degree. And the last one is, well, that is not actually the last. There is a pass. If you had a 1.00 to a 1.49, that is actually a pass. Now from 1.00 to anything below, that is actually a fail. That is actually what it will be. Now, having known this, let us take out an example and we'll be done with this video. So let us say there is someone that took these courses. So I'm just going to take Chem 101, and let's say the person took Physics 101 and a Math 101. Let us say there is a Bio 101 and another course. Well, just a 101. Let us say we have another one. Let us say we got a Chemistry 104. And so the next thing we need to do is we need to find out what is the credit units. So let us say that the credit units here, I'm going to represent that as a CU. So let's say the credit unit or the credit load for Chem 101 is a 3. And the one for Physics 101 is a 3. Let us say for this is a 3. I'm just going to make this to be a 2. Let's just say it is a 2. And let's say this one is a 4. Let's say this is a 4. And let's say this is a 1. Now from here we can find out what is a TCR. Now TCR is a total credits registered. So if I add a 3 to a 2, that is going to give us a 5. And so you're going to have a 5 plus a 3, giving us an 8. And an 8 plus another 8, that would give us a 16, plus a 1, that gives us a 17. So this will be the total credit registered. This is going to be the TCR. Now next up, we need to determine or just apportion some grades which this person might have gotten. So I'm going to write that as a lettered grade. I'm just going to write that as a LG. So let us say here, this person got an A. And here the person got a B. Let us say there is another B here. Let us say there is a C. And there is an A here. And there is a D over here. Now you need to know what the GP of these grades are from what we said. So I'm going to write it over here. Now the GP for an A grade is actually 5. For this is going to be a 4. This is going to be a 4. This would be a 3. This is a 5. And this is a 2. And the next thing you need to do is to multiply this credit units with this GPs. So here we're going to have a 3 multiplied by a 5. That is going to give us a 15. And a 2 multiplied by a 4. That is going to give us an 8. And you're going to have a 3 multiplied by a 4 here. That would give you a 12. You're going to have a 3 by another 4. That gives us a 12. And here we're going to have a 20. Here we're going to have a 2. So I need to add these together. So that is going to be 15 plus 8 plus a 12 plus another 12 plus a 20 plus a 2. So that gives us a 69. So here I'm going to have a 69. So I need to do that there. Now, in order to find out what is going to be the CGPA, so the CGPA, that will be 69, the total of this, divided by the total credit registered, which is actually the 17. So that will be 69 divided by 17. So that gives us a 4.0588, which approximates up to a 4.006. So that is going to be a 4.06. So this is going to be the CGPA of that person. Now, where does this CGPA belong? Does it belong to a first class, a second class upper, a second class lower, or a third? Now, this obviously doesn't belong to a first class because it does not reach up to a 4.5, which is the threshold, the lower threshold for a first class CGPA. So obviously this is going to be a second class lower. Whoa, a second class upper rather. So the person would actually have a 2.1 or a 2.1, which is that is actually going to be a second class upper. That is what the person has. So this person would have a second class upper CGPA for that year or that semester, basically. So this is a second class upper. And so that is basically how to work or calculate the CGPA or the class of degree for a particular semester or an academic year.